In today's episode, I want to talk about a very important idea. Stop studying, start speaking. Many people study English by reading grammar books, memorizing vocabulary, and writing down rules. While these things are useful, I believe that speaking and listening are the most important skills to build real communication. Today, I want to help you learn why it is good to practice speaking and how you can begin to use your English in a simple, everyday way. Let's start with a small story. When I first started learning English, I used to read many books and listen to lessons on grammar. I knew many words, and I could understand when someone was talking. But when I tried to speak, I was very nervous. I did not know how to choose the right words quickly, and I was afraid of making mistakes. This is a common problem for many learners at the B1 level. They feel that they know so much, but when it is time to talk, they are very shy and silent. Today, I want to show you that it is okay to speak even if you are not perfect. In fact, the more you speak, the better you will become. You may ask, why should I speak if I am not ready? Let me answer that with a simple example. Imagine that you want to learn how to swim. What if you only read about swimming and watched videos without ever getting into the water? You might learn the names of the strokes and even how to move your arms and legs. But if you never practice in the pool, you will not learn to swim well. The same is true for English. You might learn many rules and words by study, but if you never use them by speaking, your confidence and ability to express yourself will not grow. In today's lesson, I encourage you to use every opportunity to speak. Don't worry if your sentences are not perfect. Every word you speak is a step forward. You will learn quickly by hearing yourself speak, by seeing how your brain connects ideas to words. The goal is not to be perfect from the very first time. It is to give yourself the chance to grow slowly with every spoken word. Now let us talk about why speaking is so important. First, speaking makes your brain work actively. When you study and read, your brain learns the structure and meaning of words, but it does not learn how to use them in a conversation. By speaking, you create a connection between the words in your mind and the act of communicating with someone else. When you practice speaking, you tell your brain how words should sound when you say them. This practice helps you to remember words better and also to improve your pronunciation. Second, speaking helps you to feel less afraid of making mistakes. I know that many of you are worried that your English is not good enough, but I want you to know that everyone makes mistakes when learning a new language. When you make a mistake, it is not a sign that you have failed. It is a natural step in the process of learning. Think of every error as a small lesson that helps you understand the language better. Just like a child learns to speak by trying again and again, you too will improve with practice. Third, speaking is the way we connect with others. Language is a tool for communication. Even if you have learned a lot by studying, it is only when you speak that you share your ideas and feelings with other people. Whether you are speaking with friends, at work, or even talking to yourself in the mirror, every conversation improves your listening and speaking skills. By practicing speaking, you build not only your language skills, but also your confidence. Once your brain gets used to the rhythm of speaking, you will find that conversation becomes much easier and much more natural. Now, I will share a few simple ideas that you can start using today to improve your speaking skills. Imagine waking up in the morning and talking about your day out loud. You can say, "Today I woke up early. I made a cup of tea. I saw the sunrise. I went to work feeling excited." Talk slowly and clearly, and try to use simple sentences. If you are alone in your room, speak as if you are explaining your plans to a good friend. This kind of daily practice will help you to think in English naturally. Another idea is to describe what you see around you. For example, if you are walking in a park, look at the trees, the birds, and the people. You can say, I see tall trees. I hear birds singing. I see children laughing and playing. This practice is very simple, but it trains your mind to organize your thoughts in English. The more you do this, the easier it will become to form sentences in your mind. If you feel shy about speaking in front of other people, try recording your voice. Use your phone to record your thoughts or describe your day. After you record, listen to it carefully and try to notice which parts can be improved. Do not worry about mistakes. Instead, see them as chances to learn and grow. Over time, you will notice that your speaking becomes smoother and more confident. I also want you to know that sometimes it helps to have a conversation partner. Even if you do not have someone to speak with face-to-face, you can use many language apps, social media groups, or online meetups to practice speaking. There are many websites where language learners find partners to talk with. When you join one of these groups, you realize that almost everyone is in the same boat. Everyone makes mistakes, and everyone is learning. This makes the conversation friendly and non-judgmental. Let's take a moment to think about a famous saying: "Practice makes perfect." Although it may sound like a simple phrase, it holds a lot of truth. Every time you practice speaking, you are building a habit. In the beginning, speaking may be slow, and sometimes you may stop to think about words. But with time, your brain will start to connect ideas faster, and your sentences will become more natural. The practice will eventually lead to improvement in your fluency, even if it happens slowly at first. I understand that starting to speak may feel scary. The thought of speaking in a language that is not your first language might cause your heart to beat faster. However, please remember that speaking is a skill that anyone can learn if they try. Do not worry about having a perfect grammar in every sentence. Most listeners will be happy to hear your voice and feel encouraged by your efforts to speak in English. There is another important idea I want to share. When you practice speaking, it is perfectly acceptable to repeat yourself. Repetition is one of the best ways to learn a new skill. Sometimes, when you repeat the same sentence several times, you begin to notice a better way of saying it. Your brain starts to remember the words and the phrases automatically. Repeating simple sentences like, "I love this beautiful day," or "I am learning to speak English confidently," can help make these sentences part of your everyday language. Also, do not be afraid of using simple language. Remember, your goal is clear communication, not impressing others with fancy words. Using clear and simple sentences is the best way to be understood, especially when you are still learning. The words you use do not need to be complex. They need to be clear and direct. This way, you not only practice speaking correctly, but you also make it easier for your listeners to follow along. When you are relaxed and use your own words, your voice sounds more natural and friendly. Let me share an example from my own practice. There was a time when I used to worry about my pronunciation, and sometimes I compared my voice with native speakers. I used to feel that my accent was not good enough. One day, a friend told me, "It is not important to sound perfect. What matters is that you speak clearly and share your ideas." These simple words changed my outlook entirely. I began to see every spoken sentence as a chance to learn rather than a chance to fail. Now, whenever I practice speaking, I focus on clear communication rather than perfection. I encourage you to start small. Begin by speaking for just a few minutes each day. It could be as simple as talking about your plans for the day while you make breakfast, or sharing a thought as you take a walk. In the beginning, your sentences might be short, and that is completely fine. What is important is that you start. Every bit of speaking practice will help you become more comfortable and more fluent. The more you speak, the easier it will become, and soon you will be surprised by how much you can say without thinking twice. Imagine the power of your spoken English. Picture yourself having a conversation with a friend, telling stories about your day, or explaining your ideas at work. Every conversation you have is a chance to learn and improve. Even if you struggle sometimes, know that each attempt makes your brain stronger. Over time, you will find that your language skills improve naturally as you build the habit of speaking English every day. It is also important to celebrate even small improvements. When you notice that you are able to say a new word or form a sentence without pausing, give yourself praise. Be kind to yourself, and do not let mistakes hold you back. Every mistake is a chance to learn, and every time you speak, you build your confidence. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect today, but to keep getting better each day. I want to remind you that you are not alone in this journey. Many people are in the same place where you are. When you join language exchange groups or online speaking clubs, you meet others who share your challenges. They understand what it means to struggle with speaking a new language, and you can learn together by supporting each other. This community of learners is one of the best resources you can have. Share your progress with them, ask for advice, and be encouraging to others as you all grow together. There will be days when you feel that nothing is improving. On those days, please remember that slow progress is still progress. Language learning is not a race, it is a journey. Each day that you practice speaking, you are making a step forward. Do not be discouraged by setbacks. Instead, see them as part of the learning process. Every time you try, even if you do not get it right on the first attempt, you are learning something new about how to speak better next time. Sometimes, you may worry about what others think when you speak. It is natural to feel shy or insecure. However, I would like to say that most people appreciate the effort you are making. They know it takes courage to speak in a language that is not your own. They are likely to be very understanding and even admire your determination. Let this thought encourage you to push past your fears. Speak with pride because every word you speak shows your commitment to learning. As we move further into this episode, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Let's pause for a moment. Take one slow, deep breath in, and then exhale slowly. Picture yourself speaking clearly and confidently. Imagine that every word you say fills you with power and strength. Feel that inner confidence grow little by little with every breath and every word. One effective way to start building this confidence is to speak to yourself. Yes, speak out loud even if you are alone. Practice describing your thoughts, your actions, and your surroundings. For example, if you are cooking, you might say, "I am chopping vegetables. I feel happy because I am making a healthy meal." It might feel strange at first, but soon you will feel comfortable talking to yourself in English, and that will help you when you talk with others. Another exercise you can try is to record your voice. Use your phone or a simple recorder and speak for a few minutes about any topic you enjoy. When you play it back, listen carefully. Notice the parts where your pronunciation is clear and those parts where you can improve. Do not worry about making mistakes. Instead, smile at the learning process and see it as a way to track your progress over time. With each recording, you will find that your voice sounds more natural and your words flow more freely. I also suggest that you try speaking in different situations. When you are on your way to work, or even while you are walking outside, try to think about what you are doing in English. Describe what you see, the sound of the wind, the color of the sky, or even the busy sounds of the street. For example, you might say, "I see many cars on the road. The sky is blue and the day is bright. People are smiling as they walk." These simple observations, spoken out loud, help train your mind to think in English rather than in your native language. It is very important to understand that mistakes are a natural part of learning any language. Do not be ashamed if you say something wrong. Every error is like a tiny lesson that helps you improve. Remember the old saying, "Practice makes perfect." Each time you speak, you get a little better. Over time, These small steps add up to big progress. Allow yourself the freedom to make mistakes. Think of them as stepping stones on your path to becoming a fluent English speaker. Now, I want you to imagine a future where you speak English with ease and confidence. Picture yourself in a situation where you can share your ideas without fear. Imagine having a pleasant conversation with a friend, explaining your work, or even traveling to an English-speaking country and communicating easily. This vision of the future is possible if you keep practicing. Your spoken English will improve gradually with every conversation, every recording, and every bit of practice. I want to encourage you today. Start now. Do not wait until you feel ready, because that day may never come. Even if you know only a few words and simple sentences, speak them out loud every day. Remember, the more you practice, the more natural it will become. The key is consistency. A few minutes of speaking every day can make a great difference over time. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but soon you will find that you speak more naturally and with more confidence. I also want to share a small secret with you. Sometimes, our mind tricks us into thinking that we are not good enough. But when you speak, you are showing your true effort and your desire to connect with others. Think of every conversation as a brave act. Each time you speak, you are taking a step closer to your goal of fluency. Do not judge yourself too harshly. Instead, be proud of every word you say and every sentence you build. You are on a wonderful journey of learning, and every word matters. As we come to the end of this episode, I want to summarize the most important points. First, study alone is not enough. You must speak. Speaking helps your brain connect words and ideas faster. Second, do not be afraid of making mistakes, because every mistake helps you learn and grow. Third, try simple daily practices, such as talking about your day, describing your surroundings, and recording your voice. Finally, remember that every little bit of practice adds up. Even on the days when you feel unsure, speak anyway. Your courage and consistency will lead you to success. I hope you have found today's episode helpful and inspiring. My goal is to give you simple and practical advice so that you can use your English every day. I truly believe that the best way to improve is by speaking out loud and using the language in your daily life. There is nothing more valuable than taking action and practicing what you have learned. Before we finish, I want to thank you for listening so carefully and for being brave enough to take these steps in your language learning journey. I know that every word you speak is a sign of your progress. It is a sign that you are working hard and that you believe in yourself. Always remember, learning a language is not about perfection, but about communication, connection, and growth. I invite you to try one new speaking exercise today. Perhaps start with a short description of your morning or your walk to work. Maybe record yourself talking and listen to your voice. Even if you feel nervous, trust that every word you speak brings you closer to fluency. There is no right or wrong way to do this. What matters is that you keep practicing, and I am here to help you along the way. I hope you leave this episode with a little more courage and a lot of motivation to speak English every day. Remember, you are making progress, step by step, word by word. Always be kind to yourself and celebrate every little victory on your journey to becoming a confident English speaker. Before I say goodbye, I would also like to remind you that you can always share your experiences with me. You can send me a message or leave a comment on our social media channels. I love hearing your stories and learning about your progress. Together, we can create a supportive and encouraging community where every learner feels empowered. Now, let's take one final deep breath together. Breathe in slowly, hold it, and breathe out. Feel that sense of calm and know that today you have taken an important step in improving your spoken English. You have shown yourself the power of practice, and you are ready to face the challenges of speaking with more confidence. As we end this episode, I hope you remember these words. Speak more, worry less, and enjoy the process. Your voice is important, and every time you speak, you are sharing a piece of yourself with the world. I know it may not seem easy now, but trust me, the more you speak, the easier it will become. You have the strength and talent to improve, and each day is a new opportunity to practice and grow. Thank you, dear listeners. I believe in you, and I know that with practice and perseverance, you will achieve great progress in your English speaking skills. Keep speaking, keep dreaming, and most of all, keep believing in yourself. Until next time, stay motivated, be kind to yourself, and never stop practicing.